Jehovah, for he has done so very much for me. To Jehovah, for he has done so very much for me. Anyway, guys, hi guys, hello, how are you? How are you doing, guys? Oh my goodness, where do I start? Okay, so I'll start by saying I am finally at 100 views. I'm like, oh my goodness, yay! Yay! 100 times people actually watched me talking. That's just mind blowing, and I am so grateful, guys. You're such amazing people, and wow, what can I say? I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the Lord. I'm thankful to you guys. I'm very, very thankful. I'm at 100 views, and it's quite a milestone, and I am really happy about it. I am ecstatic. Ecstatic. I cannot begin to explain it. I cannot even put it in words. It's amazing to have 100 people watch you, or people watch you 100 times. Yeah. So yeah, guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I even forgot the introduction at this point. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Percy's Vlogs, and I'm Paris. I'm the vlogger of this YouTube channel right here. Yeah. So specific story. So I'll just give you a backtrack of the story. Yeah. It's about a lady who goes by the name Monica, who's actually dead right now, rest in peace, and was apparently killed. Had just moved back to her country from South Sudan, and her country being Kenya. So she had just moved back to Kenya from South Sudan, where she had been working for a couple of years. I'm not sure if it's 7 or more, and she was found dead. Someone killed her. So the person who is being alleged to have killed her, or is being presently arrested and held by police for the murder case, is apparently a guy who was her friend. So, which is terrible, and I feel like who is responsible for this death should actually pay for it. But this guy happens to be a boyfriend or a fiance. Actually, it's a fiance because they're already engaged right now. A fiance to a news reporter. And you know, news reporters, I don't know if it's the same in your country, but in my country they're very famous because we tend to see them every day on your screens. Yeah. So he is a fiance to a news reporter who goes by the name Jackie. So people are just everywhere, especially on social media, talking about how Jackie had left some other guy who she was working with in one of the media stations and met this guy, and then this guy has been arrested for the murder. So they're like, oh, you should not have left that guy because you don't know who you left. And this guy happened to be, I don't know, I don't understand. Like, okay, someone died, why are we discussing fiancés? Like, but why? And we even have like very petty blogs and vlogs, which even I don't understand. There is no moral ethic code to these guys. Like they just put up content without even thinking about anything, just to get the flow of people into their blogs and vlogs. I do not understand it. I do not get it. I don't. Money cannot be the only reason you do whatever you do. It's crazy. And I just kept on thinking, man made money and money made man mad, really. Because so this topics, this headlines would go like, how many people have been with Jackie, or how many people has Jackie dated, or how many people has Jackie been. I'm like, so what's your point exactly? I'm waiting. Yes, your point. I don't get it, because I really don't get it. This is just social media trolling. This is just abuse of human rights. This is just, you know, putting our women down. And I really thought we were beyond this. So in one of these posts, I happened to, while I was scrolling on my Facebook, and I happened to check it out, it was the same nonsense, basically same old nonsense being posted, and people were commenting. So I read through one of the comments, and it got on my nerves. So basically this person was saying that those people who are saying that the news reporter should be the news reporter's name should not be dragged in the mud, is basically should basically cut the crap because these blogs and vlogs, they're here to make money. And I'm like, what sort of reasoning is that in 2018? No, because really I don't understand. I do not understand. So I'm here trying to explain, well, actually, since they used her name, and we went on each other for a long time, and I was like, no, by the way, Paris, you have time for this. You have to start correcting mentalities like this, because I feel like these things, they're just way too much. When I told you about the story before about an incident of a young lady having been found dead and having been murdered, we still had this kind of comments of people saying, oh, why was she dating someone's husband? Oh, why was she being sponsored? And I keep repeating myself, like, no one. And I said in the previous video, no one is supposed to be killed for a mistake you feel they made, because no one has the right to take life. So now in this case, people are celebrating because the person she's associated with killed somebody, and that's supposed to be a lesson because she left someone. I'm like, really, guys? Really? So basically her mistake was that she moved on with this other guy. Really? No, but really? So this guy is trying to justify why people were dragging her name and counting. I mean, it was really belittling. I can't even say some of the topics that were being headlined there in my YouTube channel, because it's too much. It's too much. And I'm completely against social media trolling. Number one, I'm completely against people being unfair and prejudiced against women. That's number two. So I'm trying to understand why this guy feels that it was justifiable that these vlogs were doing this and these blogs were doing this, and his reasoning is because it happened to men before, that someone has been abused and someone has been accused and someone has been trolled, so it's fine also if it happens to women. And then he brings in the gender equity part. I'm like, oh no, we are not about to have this discussion, are we? So this guy says, so because the vlogs have to make money and she's a known person, she's a famous person, so they're allowed to use. I'm like, oh, so how about, since they were allowed to use, they used her name and they got the profit that they wanted so badly, how about they give a share to her for dragging her name? Because if anybody is going to be a part of any profit gaining activities, the least you can get is a share. And then this guy is like, no, she's going to be accused. I was like, okay, if she was an accessory to the murder, then fine. Okay, let everybody pay for their mistakes according to the law. But we need to bear in mind that social media trolling is against the law. This same law that says an accessory to murder should be arrested is the same law that says that no one should be trolled in social media, despite you being as famous as who. That's unacceptable. So this guy still sticks to his mentality, and I'm like, oh! And I'm just disturbed. I'm disturbed because his reasoning was that of, since we're asking for gender equity, we might as well be treated badly because men are also being treated badly. I'm like, what kind of reasoning is that? For lack of a more polite word, because it's unacceptable. Male and females are allowed to have gender equity. They're allowed to be treated fairly. They're allowed to exist in peace. No one is allowed to, violate their laws. So this guy had a problem with me speaking up about it because he feels like no one spoke up for the guys who had been mistreated before. And I was like, maybe, just maybe, you should be the person who starts speaking up for men more. Maybe you should be that person. Maybe you should be the first one. Maybe people will follow suit. I couldn't understand it. And we went on for days. Like, this entire week has been me trying to set this mentality straight. And I just felt like I needed to emphasize about the importance of having gender equity, because gender equity does not mean one gender is more important than the other. Actually, what it means, it advocates for both genders to have equal opportunities in life, in the society, to make decisions in their careers. That's just all. We actually, in our society, we need men and women alike. So I feel like there's this notion of, if women are asking for gender equity, then they can do it all by themselves, then we don't need men, or as if we're taking away from men. No, that's not what we're doing. Gender equity is about women getting enough opportunities just like men, so both of these genders can just perform function, like they can perform like at the same level, you know, just get equal opportunities. Basically, that's just it. No one is gonna not need men. We definitely need our men, we need them to be part of the society, but we also need the women. And I feel like this gender equity feminism story has been misunderstood and misinterpreted. So I just felt the need to just come up here and say this about gender equity. I feel, consider this with me. So we have a plane, yeah. If it's created to work with two engines, for example, for instance, we have a plane. It's created to function with two engines, right? So one of it happens to malfunction and not work, yeah. Just tell me what will happen to this plane. Chances are it will, the first engine will work for a while, but it will be overworked, right? Chances are the plane might malfunction eventually, because it was created to work with two, not just one, yeah. So if you take the plane to be the society, we have both men and women who represent the two engines, men and women who represent both the engines. If both the engines are working perfectly, they're functioning well, then the plane is gonna work perfect. Everything is gonna be fine. But if we're only dependent on one engine, forgetting the women and feeling like we don't need them in the society, then the one engine is gonna be very frustrated and very overworked. Eventually the society is not going to function as it should. So that's just my point. Like, let's just get out of this mentality of women are not capable, women are not fit to be given equal opportunities. Let's not do that, because if you think about it, even in the Bible, not once did Jesus look down on women. Not once. Not once did he feel like, no, women are so weak, let's just ignore them. Never. He didn't. He never did that. And in the Bible it says we are created to be co-workers. Co-workers means like co-shoulders. It doesn't mean like you're here and I'm below here. And this guy said something that I just wanted to reiterate here as well. He said that if women were given gender equity, and the men who were accustomed to this notion of women getting gender equity will only survive in an environment where guys and the boys are weak. And this was my argument. My argument was that, so if you feel that you're stronger than a woman, right? At this point you're here and the woman is down here, then that does not necessarily mean you're strong. What it just means is that you're stronger than the woman. So the question you should be asking yourself, and especially as men, is if you get your strength from the woman being beneath you, then there's a problem, because you're supposed to be strong when the woman is equal to you, when the woman is below you. At this point, we're not even supposed to be talking about strength, because I feel like we have, as men and women, we have strengths and weaknesses. There are things women do easier than men, and there are things men do easier than women. So what we should be doing is working together, not insisting in the traditional and very old, outdated, uneducated notion of putting women beneath us. Like, I don't understand that. I really don't. And I feel like at 2018, We should know better by now. Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye. To Jehovah, for He has done so very much for me.